The delta in its current configuration is not sustainable because it is being degraded by a host of problems and stressors, starting with the fact that it is no longer a natural estuary draining 40% of the state of California through its major rivers. Those rivers have been dammed. There have been diversions upstream which have deprived the delta of its natural, normal water supply. Secondly, the delta is not a natural estuary anymore because, as a result of government policy 100 and more years ago, we decided to channelize the delta, to create berms and levees, which means that the delta operates very differently than it would as a natural estuary. In addition, because of those changes, the temperatures in the delta, the water temperatures, are higher than they would be under normal circumstances. That means that a lot of the creatures that that evolved into the delta as a cold water estuary are now having to adapt to it being warmer. Because it's warmer, it's attracting invasive species, both different kinds of fish and different kinds of plants and other biology going on in the delta, so that you've got a lot of predator of the native species that have been introduced because the environment in the delta is changing. In addition, because of agriculture, we've got, and because of just runoff from cities, we've got a lot of herbicides and pesticides that have found its way into the delta, because the delta has been the repository for a lot of the mining debris from the old placer mining days. We've got methyl mercury in the delta. So you've got this host of stressors, including invasive species, including waste runoff, including reduced delta freshwater inflow. And then, of course, we've got the elephant in the waiting room, sea level rise. We're going to put more pressure on those levees as water levels on the outside go up, and subsidence continues to happen in the interior of many of these delta islands because they're peat soils that, when they're exposed to the air, they oxidize. And so you've got this whole host of interconnected problems in the delta. And then you add the earthquake risk and large flood events, as well as long drought events. All of those things conspire to say that the delta in its current configuration cannot be sustained. It will change, and the question is, will that change be managed, or will it be thrust upon us? Because it can't stay the way it is.